Hey y'all, this is Casey from KCJ Designs. So we are going to be making a rag flag today. I seen another girl make one of these, so I thought I'd design and create one for myself. So it is a 2-piece set that I cut out with my laser, and the wood is pretty smooth here, but I just took my finger sander and went over it real lightly. Now we are going to start painting. I am using Waverly white chalk paint and doing 2 coats of paint on the piece of wood. And I was just using a sponge brush, and I am just dabbing on the top there where the hanger is going to be because I don't want paint to be going and spilling over to the edges. So here I'm just using my heat tool to dry this up, and then once the paint is dry, the 2 layers, I'm taking my finger sander there again and just kind of smoothing it out. I'm using a 220 grit sandpaper. And I use my air tool to blow the dust off. So now we are getting into the blue paint. This is Waverly Ocean. Yeah, Waverly Ocean, and I'm just going over with 1 coat on this top piece of wood. This is going to be the top layer. So this, you want to make sure you get a full even coat if that's the style you're going for. So once this is fully coated, I take my heat tool again and dry that really quick. I'm very impatient. So now I'm taking some folk art paint in the color iced coffee, and I'm doing a dry brush around the edges and on the stars as well. Once that dry brushing is dry, then I flip it over and we're going to use some Aleene's tacky glue here. And yeah, when I tell you this stuff was thick, it is thick. I struggled, so I ended up using a foam brush and spreading that glue all over the place because I didn't want it to squeeze out throughout the stars. And this glue is either Aleene's or Eileen's tacky glue. I'm not really sure, but either way, it is really good glue. We are done with this part, so I'm just going to set it aside, and I got my fabric out, and this is the fun part. It is a little bit time consuming, but it is the fun part. So I'm just getting out what fabrics I want to use, and then I also got out some ribbons. I'm just using a variations of red and white for this project. So now I'm just going to be ripping up some different fabric, and what I'm doing is I take my scissors and I cut into the bottom of the fabric about 1/4 of an inch, and then I rip it. And all of this fabric is from Hobby Lobby except for that white. That white is from Walmart. It's a Waverly brand. And when I ripped it, it kind of wanted to twirl up. So I just took my mini heat press and flattened it out with the heat. I did it to all of the white and a couple of the red ones, but nothing like I had to with the white. And this is optional. You do not have to do this. I just went ahead and took the time to do it. Now I'm getting out my ribbons, and I am just cutting these up. And also a side note, I'm cutting them up to the length that the ribbon is. And a side note, I just wanted to let you know, I am sorry for the camera going in and out, in and out, in and out. Somebody or something, somehow my camera moved and I was not aware. So I had to manually fix that. So here I am taking my fabric first, and I am going to go in a pattern. But what I'm doing is I'm just sticking the fabric from underneath, and then I'm making a 1 knot. I guess that's how you say it. I'm just making 1 simple knot and then pulling it tightly. And then I'm going a strip of red and then a strip of red and white check. And then I'm doing the white. And I've cut a lot of it out, but I did show you after this white 1 knot, then I will grab 1 more piece of red and do the knot. And then I cut a lot of it out so you don't have to watch all that. I tried to make this as short as possible, but it's kind of a longer one because I wanted to show you how I'm doing this. Okay, so now that all my ribbon is on, I am just kind of going one by one, pulling it apart, pulling it up, just so I can make sure I like it the way that it is. And I use my scissors to cut off the excess. I'm also going through and making sure they're all tight. There's excess up there that's kind of hanging over the wood where the stars are, so I'm just trimming that up to make it all about the same length. None of this is perfect. I want it to kind of look shabby and rustic. So I'm just trimming this top stuff up first, and then I'm going to move to the bottom and kind of just trim it all up so it's all even. Okay, so now that I have all my fabric on and it's all even, then I'm moving on to my ribbon. Now you can put your ribbon on however you'd like. I just kind of went in a pattern again. And I did that with each individual sets of ribbon or lace and the lace that I had. And each time I put new ribbon on, like the set, I guess you could say, I would go in and trim it all up. So that way it wasn't overwhelming and I wouldn't have 50, 60 pieces of fabric or ribbon to cut at once. I just kind of did it slowly, step at a time. Okay, so for the rest of this step with the putting the ribbon on, it's pretty much just repetition. So I'm going to cut that out. I thought I cut a bunch of it out, but I guess I'm going to cut even more out because it's just all the same. And just make sure that you're picking it up every once in a while to get a better look at it. And then making sure to put your ribbon on and then trimming it up. But I'm going to cut a bunch of it out and we'll move on to the next step now. Okay, so now we got on all the ribbon. Can you believe it? So I'm just doing one last trim on top and bottom. And then also I did cut it out, but I took my lighter and I singed the bottom of some of those ribbons so they wouldn't fray. I didn't want it to fray. So I just singed the bottom with my lighter. But like I said, I took it out. Oh, look, I put another piece of ribbon in. I wanted it really full. You do not have to have it this full, or you could have it even fuller. So it's really up to you. It's your preference. But once I've done one last trim, then I'm going to be attaching a hanger. I use jute cord to create the hanger and then put on some wood beads to go over that. I'm just using a long skinny needle. I do not know the proper term for this needle, but it's just a long skinny needle, and it just helps me be able to get the beads on a lot easier. So if you saw that, I just used my lighter to burn those little hairs off the jute. So yeah, I'm just using that needle to help me get the beads on, and I'm covering up that excess knot, the string from the knot, up underneath of the beads. So yep, once I get this all beaded up, then I'm gonna knot it off on the other circles there, the other loops. They're called loops, Casey. So I'm gonna knot it off on the other loop there, and then that will be it. I really hope that you like this project. Let me know if you think you would want to have one of these for yourself, if you'd like to recreate it, or I can make more and sell them. But yeah, I really hope that you liked it. And if you do like projects like this, I have some more 4th of July themed projects coming up. If you like what you see, just go ahead and follow me or subscribe or whatever you got to do. And I hope to see you again. I'm going to attach some photos here, and here we go. I'm going to attach a couple more photos, and then that will be it. Have a good day. Bye-bye.